Greg Ennis alongside Steve Silverio, and welcome back to Philly Chevy Giant Gordon Chevrolet on the Boulevard in Bustleton. And as Steve likes to say, in the great
Northeast.
And Steve, here at Gordon Chevrolet, what do we do?
Just do the deal, Philly.
Well, Steve, I got to tell you, we are into the month of November, and right off the bat, I got a feeling, I got a big-time hunch that this is going to be a November to remember. What do you think?
This here, about what I'm about to explain, is the biggest sale that I've seen since I've been here. This is going to be the big one right here.
That big?
It's going to be that big. You're going to say, holy smoke.
So
watch this one.
Are you actually like kind of thinking that Christmas might come a little bit early here?
I'm thinking right now, this sales event, we're going to name it. In fact, you're just right. We're going to name it Christmas Comes Early at Gordon Chevrolet. Because let me tell you something. November is going to be Christmas when I tell you what the offers we've got for everybody out there.
Well, I'm ready. I'm ready. The folks at home are ready. New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, and the Lehigh Valley, they're ready.
All right, here's what we got. A lot of times we say bad credit, no credit, trade amnesty, everything that's very important to the whole world today on purchasing an automobile and having a low monthly payment. But watch this. The biggest thing that contributes to a low monthly payment is discount. The more money I can take off a vehicle is the better the deal is going to be and the lower the monthly payment. Period. End of discussion. That's just the way it is. All right? Now let me tell you something. We still have credit amnesty. You know, when you come to Gordon Chevrolet, people now, for the 5 years that I've been here, we've helped an enormous amount of people in this marketplace get started and get down the road in credit. We know that. I've taken in trades that I had no business putting X amount of dollars on, but I did it to help people out of their cars because I love to see people driving down the road, and I love going into these neighborhoods around Gordon Chevrolet and seeing Chevy on the BLVD on the back of the car. This one here is going to be the one. Watch this now. Discounts. How about if I tell you that I can right now provide for anybody out there to get into Gordon Chevrolet, that I can tell you that you could buy a car right now, for what a GM employee out of Detroit can purchase a car for.
So wait a minute. You're talking about employee pricing?
I'm talking about employee pricing.
Steve, that's a deep discount. That's deep.
You'll pay what GM employees pay.
Wow.
So you don't have to be a 30-year employee with General Motors. You don't have to be a 40-year employee with General Motors.
It's just like you're an employee when you come here.
When you come here, we give you employee pricing. It's on the invoice. We show you the invoice. And in a lot of cases, when you look at that, it's below my invoice.
Wow.
For employee pricing. The employees buy the cars a lot cheaper than anybody out there, and the discounts are deep. So you're going to be able to buy the car at employee pricing.
That's huge, Steve. That is unprecedented. Employee pricing on a brand new Chevrolet. Unbelievable.
And it's going on from now until you can see it this weekend. It's going to surpass the weekend. We do have it all month here, so we're going to have it all month. But I would get in here early because let me tell you something. This one truly is while supplies last.
That's a fun one. That's a fun one. People love it.
I got something also that goes right alongside that.
More?
There's more. Employee pricing gives you a certain amount off sticker. So when you look at these lower priced cars, the employee pricing sometimes is just what you would feel to say, well, that's just a normal little discount. Like on our Cruises, our Sonics, our Sparks. I just worked up a Spark for somebody. Now here's a car that goes for $13,000, $14,000. I was able to give these people $4,200 off the sticker.
How?
They bought the car for $10,400, a brand new 2017 Spark.
How did you do that, Steve?
We have 20% off on other models, Cruises, Malibus. I think you've got the list. We showed you the list to be able to put in the disclaimer underneath. But we're giving 20% off, which means you get $5,000 to $7,000 off Cruises, Malibus, Sparks, Sonics. I want to say there was another model in there. I don't remember which one it was. The Equinoxes,
yes.
Traverses. I think you had all those. These were huge discounts, and they go right alongside with employee pricing. So
what you're saying is if they get in here this month between now and the close of business Saturday at Philly Chevy Giant Gordon Chevrolet here on the Boulevard in Bustleton in the Great Northeast, you not only have employee pricing, and you also have 20% off brand new Chevrolet. So what you're really saying is if they come in here, Steve, they can pick the vehicle that they want and pick the deal they want.
Pick the deal they want. They can go with the employee pricing if that car is situated and that car qualifies for the employee pricing, or they can take the 20% off. And the 20% off, watch this. We just did one an hour and a half ago, just before you got here, Greg. We were sitting there doing 20% off. It dropped the customer's payment $178 a month.
I mean, when you talk about 20% off some of these vehicles, you were talking about, like you said, a deep discount.
Deep discount.
So somebody that is worried about being able to get into another vehicle, when you talk about that deep discount, that immediately changes their situation without one iota of concern, because instantly they are able to go from a situation of being, maybe tentative of being able to afford the deal to affording it with a deep discount and 20% off. That's huge. That is huge on a brand new vehicle.
Well, here's the difference. This particular car was a Malibu, 20% off. I think the discount was $6,200. Payment went from $440 a month on that particular car down to $257, almost $200 per month on that particular vehicle, which put that vehicle at $28,000 to $30,000 in the range of buying a car now.
What does Steve say to that?
Just do the deal.
Say those magic words.
Just do the deal.
Gordon Chevrolet, where Steve says,
just do the deal.
So why would you start the month off with a unprecedented promotion? I mean, think about it. If you just came on this program today and said, Greg, we're going to do employee pricing, we'd all love it. We would get real excited.
Yeah.
If you came on here and said, we're going to do 20% off the price, people would love that. But you're talking about coming here to Philly Chevy Giant, Gordon Chevrolet.
And doing both.
And doing both. Employee pricing and 20% off. You pick your vehicle, you pick your deal. Steve, why do it at the beginning of the month?
Simple reasons. Is by the end of the month, our inventory starts getting a little diminished till we get our new stock. In the first week of December, they start shipping cars to us, whatever we sell in the end of by the end of November. Inventory start getting diminished. The deal is the deal, but it's still got to be the right car. Just because I'm giving X amount of dollars off, people are saying, well, it's not the car I want. If I do it in the beginning of the month, they've got a chance to come in for that selection, the best selection. Because right now, I've got 350 cars on the ground. I got another 200 will be here before the end of the month. So you're going to be able to select from 450 to 500 automobiles. If I don't have the car you want, I don't have nobody's got the car. So I've got the automobile right now that you're looking for with the huge discount. Get here early. Don't wait until the end of the month. Do it now. Get your best selection, and that is very well your very best price.
Now, I got to ask you, Steve, you've been in the car business for a long time. Have you ever seen a situation or a dealership, such as Gordon Chevrolet, is saying, come here between now and the close of business on Saturday, and not only do we have employee pricing, we also have 20% off. Have you ever seen them both together on one platform? I mean, this is amazing. Pick your vehicle, pick your deal. Have you ever seen them together?
I've never seen both of them together, and I've never seen the employee pricing as aggressive as it is right now, because most of the times that I've seen people do this, it's been like supplier pricing, which is a step above. They don't get quite the discount that somebody that works for General Motors gets.
Now, how do you know that they're actually getting the employee price, as opposed to something else? Is there an invoice they could be shown?
There's an invoice that says employee. It says in supplier, you pay that employee price. That's it, period. Not a penny more. Not a penny more. It's that employee pricing.
So the employee pricing, just to make sure I understand and the folks at home understand, the employee price is actually less than the supplier price. So if I were a GM employee, that's the price that I would pay, that employee price.
Exactly. If you worked at Detroit and you were a 40-year employee for them, you'd come in, I show you the invoice, you pay the employee pricing.
What does Steve say to that?
Just do the deal.
Say those magic words.
Just do the deal.
Gordon Chevrolet, where Steve says,
just do the deal.
Now, the 20% off.
Yeah.
Tell us how that works if that's the program and the vehicle that the folks choose. How does the 20% off work? They come in, they find the vehicle that is part of the 20% program,
Yeah.
They choose the vehicle, and then the price less 20%. Is that right?
20%. Do you get say, let's just take a entry-level model car for $30,000, okay? $30,000, 20% off, $6,000. $40,000, $8,000. $50,000, 20% off, $10,000. These things go all the way up to $12,000, $13,000 by the time you include our discount plus the 20% and everything that we're given.
I got to tell you, these are both incredible opportunities. I mean, think about it. Employee pricing by itself gets everybody excited. They love the words employee pricing, and obviously we understand why. It's the most best deal that you're going to find actually on the invoice from Chevrolet, from General Motors?
If you can't buy a car this month with this,
No.
you can't buy a car.
They don't want to buy a car.
You don't want to buy a car. If you want a car and you want, I know there's a lot of people out there say, well, I've got 4 months left on my lease payments on this car. It'll be up in January or February. Let me tell you something. For these deals, forget them 4 payments. Come on in. Let's do it. Let's do some business, because I'm going to tell you something. This is going to be one heck of a Christmas present for anybody out there.
Now, I got to tell you, Steve, just to make sure I understand, not only do you have both of these programs available, but your inventory is spectacular right now. Am I correct about that?
I've got more cars in stock and more cars coming than probably I've ever had.
Why?
Just ordered a lot of cars. I know this. If you don't have the cars, you can't sell. You can't sell from an empty shelf.
Very true, very
All
true.
right. So I wanted the inventory. I know most people lighten up going into this time of year. They start backing off. They're coming into November. They're coming into December. Then we've got January, depending on the weather. I like to play offense. I don't play defense. Let's have the cars. My feeling is, if you're going to buy a car, you're going to buy a car when you need a car. It's going to be November, December, January. When your car breaks down, you're going to get a new car. You don't say, well, let's wait till June, honey. We'll just take the bus back and forth to work. You're going to buy a car. I want to have that inventory here when you get ready to buy an automobile.
Now, I come in here to Philly Chevy Giant, and I decide, okay, I like this program. This is the one I want. I want to focus in on, let's say, the 20% off, okay? Yeah. And I know that the vehicle I am trading, I'm a little upside down in, okay? Yeah. Does that benefit me with that deep discount to help you to
about this.
Put it together where they get right side up?
Well, think about this. You got a $35,000 car. You get 20% off. Let's call it $7,500, somewhere in that ballpark. And let's say you're upside down by 12. It's not that far.
No.
You've got 35. Now you're 4,500 buried, not 12, because you've used in that massive discount to be able to send that to the new bank and say, listen, we're still financing. We're not going way over MSRP. You can still use that money to put down to pay off your vehicle.
On the other side of the coin, if they did not have that 20% discount, that would be a tough deal in some cases to get done. Am I right?
Hey, because let's face it, most of these cars today, if you look at them, they've got a $1,500, $1,800 markup in them, most of them, maybe a couple $1,000. Most cars. There's some high-line cars. I've got Z06 Corvettes that are $100,000. You can obviously get more than $2,000 or $3,000 off that car. But for the most part, because I did a Z06 last night, we took almost $15,000 off that car for the guy.
What does Steve say to that?
Just do the deal.
Say those magic words.
Just do the deal.
Gordon Chevrolet, where Steve says,
just do the deal. It doesn't make any difference what your credit is.
This is important, folks. Listen closely.
It don't make any difference what you owe on your car. The first part we start off is we sit you down and say, this is what the car is going to cost you under the employee pricing, or it could be the 20%, whichever scenario
you pick
that fits and that you pick. We show it to you, say, this is the car, this is what you want, you pick the car, here's your money, that's where we start, and then we go from there. So it applies for everybody. I don't care. We don't even ask for the credit up front, okay? It doesn't make any difference. I don't care if you're a 400 FICO score or a 900 FICO score. Everybody gets treated the same, no matter what. That's important.
That is real important. And a lot of times, folks are going to hear about offers that, sometimes you'll hear, and you need to do this or that. This is a great program.
You got to qualify. You got to have a 740 beacon score, or you got to have this, or you got to have a car at your house that a certain, what they call a conquest or a customer loyalty. None of that.
That makes it easy.
We don't care if you ever bought a Chevy before in your life.
What's that, Steve?
We don't care if you ever bought a Chevy. At these numbers, you will, though.
Absolutely.
You'll be part of the Chevy family, I promise you, on this number.
Now, I was looking at that list, okay? And I could not believe what I saw. We talk about employee pricing. I saw Corvettes and Camaros at employee pricing. Now, Steve, that never happens. I mean, Corvettes and Camaros at employee pricing?
Never on Corvettes. Very, very seldom on Camaros at all, if any. It's usually on your core vehicles. It's on your Cruze. It's on your Malibu, your Equinox, and sometimes your Traverse, and a lot of times also on the Silverado. It's those vehicles, and that's it. We've got something, either employee pricing or 20% on every Chevrolet that we sell 2017 models.
I got to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, when you get in here to Philly Chevy Giant, whether it is on Tuesday night, whether it's on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, through the close of business Saturday, number one. You want to come in here and take advantage of this, because this kind of an offer will absolutely make it a November to remember, where we keep saying that Christmas comes early. Because when you get into here to Philly Chevy Giant Gordon Chevrolet on the Boulevard in Bustleton in the Great Northeast, number one, I can guarantee you this: Steve wants to sell you a car, and number two, he wants to say this:
just do the deal, Philly, and you did it here at Gordon Chevrolet.
And how's he going to do the deal? Number one, employee pricing. That is the lowest price on the invoice offered by General Motors. Am I correct about that, Steve?
Absolutely. So General Motors offering that sale, and I want to tell you too, and I just thought of this as I was going along. I said, been here 5 years, and again, I've got to thank everybody out there that we took a store that was non-existent in the city of Philadelphia. That's now one of your number one stores in Philadelphia, and it's all due to you out there that's bought a car here, that spent your money with me, you trusted me, and I'm going to tell you, this here is huge to be running this type of deal. Instead of putting that dealer money in my pocket, like a lot of times at the end of this year, dealers go, oh, let's put the cash in our pocket. Let's not give it to the customer. I'm putting everything on the table this month that if you're going to buy a car this month, I don't care what you're looking at, you got to come over and give us a shot at the Chevrolet, and I'll guarantee I can sway your decision no matter what you're looking at. This product that we have will stand up, has more awards. This is a good product at a bargain basement price.
Here's the takeaways: Gordon Chevrolet, employee pricing and 20% off. Come in, pick your vehicle, pick the deal that is best for you. Pick the vehicle and pick the deal right here at Gordon Chevrolet. Now, Steve, when I get in here to Gordon Chevrolet, one of the first things when folks came here 5 years ago, as you were talking about, one of the things that you instituted from day one, I believe, you tell me if I'm wrong, is that you were always on the showroom floor. Now, that is really unheard of as a dealer. Dealers do not normally wander the showroom.
You know how it went? Let me go back to the old days.
Please tell us, because this is, you still do it today. Is what I'm getting
do
at.
it today, all right? We talk about Chevy, just Philly, just do the deal. But we also had, if you didn't get the deal you wanted, my office is on the showroom floor. You see me before you leave, and I'll make sure you get the deal you wanted.
Are you still doing that today?
We're still doing that today. I'm still on the floor. Again, I had a gentleman last night. We're talking about that ZL6. He came in from Bucks County, shopped all his local Chevy dealers, called us on the phone, came on down. I personally took care of him myself. I met him here. We got out of here last night at 9:30, quarter to 10 with the gentleman, bought a ZL6, one of our more expensive cars in the lineup, if not the most expensive car, and traded in his vehicle, traded in a Hellcat. And let me tell you something. It was a memorable experience for myself. Good old boy. I mean, I'm just telling you, he's bought a lot of cars in his life, and a funny guy, real funny guy, him and his partner. And we sold him the vehicle. And I worked the deal from front to back, and before I left, I said, you're in good hands now. Shook his hand, thanked him for his business. And he called me last night and said, Steve, it was the best thing I've ever had. You guys were all stand up. You took care of me, did everything you said you were going to do. On the phone, we did the whole deal. He came in and just wrote the check.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm going to share a little something. When we got here today, we were supposed to begin late in the morning.
Yes.
Now, I had to wait a little while, and I didn't mind because you had several customers that actually wanted to speak with you. You had a gentleman in particular that had bought several vehicles. I don't know the amount, maybe you could tell us, but he wanted to talk to you because he knows that you really care.
Yeah.
He wanted to ask you your opinion on what scenario was best for him. You took the time, explained it with him, worked with him. I think you need a little help on his trade. Now, Steve, folks might say, well, that's just something you talk about on TV. No, folks, it happens here at the dealership all the time. If you're at this dealership and, you know, like Steve said, if you don't like the deal you get, just ask for Steve. He's going to take the time to work with you. And this particular person had worked with Steve in the very beginning and has continued to come back. He wanted to talk to Steve. Now, Steve, that happens all the time, and that's always the most important thing on your schedule. Am I right? When a customer wants you, everything else stops. Am I right?
Everything. I don't care who I'm with. I don't care if I'm with the bank. I don't care if I'm with somebody from General Motors. Everything stops. That customer is the most important thing. And, you know, keep in mind, too, a lot of people don't know this. We go through it when you're here, but we have a lifetime oil change for our customers.
Tell us how that works.
Okay, lifetime oil change. Easy deal. You buy a car from us, we take care of your factory recommended oil changes. You can't come in every 500 miles and get an oil change. It's not good for you or me. But you get your factory recommended oil changes. We don't charge you. You also, once a year, can come back here and get a sticker put on your car at no charge. We do the recommended inspection, which I think is once a year.
Is that Pennsylvania you're talking about?
Pennsylvania.
State inspection.
Yeah.
Not New Jersey, Pennsylvania.
Jersey, not Delaware. I'm not real familiar with what exactly they got. I know Jersey does have an inspection thing, but I'm talking about Pennsylvania. We put the sticker on your car, we check your vehicle, and we put the sticker on, no charge. We do the lifetime inspections for you who bought the car.
Now,
lifetime oil change.
Now, Steve, that sounds to me like a dealership that is not only interested in selling you a car, but wants to keep you a part of the family and keep connected with you and help you out after you buy the car. Because let's face it, some places you go buy a car, after they sell the car, they really don't want to help you out. You want to help them out. You want to shake their hand the first time, the second time, the third time. You want to see the aunt, uncle, brother, sister, grandmom, grandpop.
Exactly.
You want to see them all.
You got if you're in this business and you're in any retail business, and we're all in the retail business here, and a lot of the retail business, there's clothing stores, there's food stores. You really have got to be in touch with your customer. You've got to be in touch with what they want, what they need, what they're looking for. And I like it. I just like people. I've been doing this for 44 years selling cars. And I absolutely, to this day, like it as much as from the first day I got into it. 44 years later, I still enjoy talking to customers.
Let me ask you another question real quick, and then we're going to talk more about the promotion. It seems to me that when you're on the showroom floor, you're a little more excited than you are when you were doing the business of a car dealership. And what I mean by that is, you know, the stuff that has to happen to make a car dealership work. You seem to have a lot more fun when you're over here shaking, you know, John's hand, talking to Mary, talking to grandma and grandpa. You get an extra pep in your step when you're walking around helping people. Am I right about that observation?
What's better? I mean, there's nothing better than what we got in this business for, was to help people buy cars. Okay, and there's no question that's how we make a living, and we do make money on selling a car. There's no question. Some dealers make more, some dealers make less.
You're interested in volume.
I'm interested in volume. I want to be your car dealer. I want to be the largest car dealer not only in Philadelphia. Okay, I'm already the largest in Philadelphia County. What I want to be is the largest in the whole metro market, and I've been striving for that for 5 years. And let me tell you something. I got some great competitors out there. Great competitors.
But you're swinging hard.
I'm still swinging hard. I'm still making car deals, and I'm still trying to earn your business.
What does Steve say to that?
Just do the deal.
Say those magic words.
Just do the deal.
Gordon Chevrolet, where Steve says,
just do the deal.
All right, so if you're just joining us and you're saying, well, what's this Christmas comes early? What could Steve possibly talk about? Christmas coming early and November to remember. Number one, as you mentioned, trade amnesty, credit amnesty, all the things that you're known for, they are all still in effect, and at the end of the day, you're going to still say those magic words of
just do the deal, Philly.
But here's what makes it special. Steve, employee pricing. What exactly is employee pricing? Is that a random number that Steve pulls out of the hat, or is it a factory number that they can actually see on a factory invoice?
You can see that on a factory invoice. There's no hocus pocus. There's no playing the shell game. You ask for the invoice. You look at the employee pricing. That's what you get. If you're taking the 20% off, you look at the MSRP of the car, you get the 20% off. It's that simple.
And that's the bottom line, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to this. Employee pricing and 20% off. Now, you come into Philly Chevy Giant, you pick the deal, and you pick the vehicle that works for that deal. That's the way it works. It's that simple, it's that easy. Now, as Steve mentioned, in some cases, you know, if you decide you want the 20% off, you're going to realize that's a great value because, Steve, you mentioned some cases 20% off some of the vehicles that are a part of that promotion.
Huge.
6, 7, 8,
10, 12.
$1,000 off.
Thousands of dollars off.
Now, how could you not take that deal?
You can't. Yeah, and you know what the beauty of that deal is? You don't have to come in here or any, and I hate to even say it like this, but sometimes you come in to any car store in America and you sit there to get to the 6,000 off or the 5,000 or the 4,000, whatever it is, you're there for hours negotiating a deal. You walk in here, it's put up within 15 minutes of you arriving, sitting down, we're going over the discount immediately with you, and then you just, from that point on, pick your car. That's it.
So not only are they getting a wonderful promotion with the employee pricing and the 20% off where they pick their vehicle, they pick the deal that works best for them, but in addition to that, you've made it very, very easy because when they get here to Philly Chevy Giant, not only do they know that, okay, I chose the Camaro. So I want the employee pricing. That's the program that comes with the Camaro.
Yeah.
That makes it real easy. There's no back and forth and negotiate. It just cuts right to the chase.
Exactly.
It's making the business of buying a car simpler, and not to mention, you're going to save a boatload of money. So, Steve, if they get here Tuesday,
Yep.
is it on?
It's on.
If I get here Wednesday, employee pricing
It's
and
on.
20% off.
It's on.
How about Thursday?
It's on.
How about Friday? We're going to get a little more excited as we get to the end of the week here.
It's on.
And what if I slip in here Saturday sometime between the start of business and the close of business Saturday? Is it on?
It's on.
What does Steve say to that?
Just do the deal.
Say those magic words.
Just do the deal.
Gordon Chevrolet, where Steve says,
Just do the deal.
not only do you have the program, but you're motivated to move the needle. And if you just missed this a little while ago, here's what he said. Steve, you're the #1 guy in Philadelphia County.
Absolutely.
What's your aspirations? To be the #1 guy where?
In the whole metro market. That would be from Allentown, Pennsylvania, which you call the Lehigh Valley.
The Lehigh Valley.
Lehigh Valley, Delaware, Southern Jersey. In all this market here, we strive every day when we get up, my team and myself, is to have the #1 CSI, take care of the customer, and be the #1 volume dealer.
So how does one go from the #1 dealer in Philadelphia County to the #1 dealer in the area? How does he do it? How does he do it?
Making it easy for you to get the best price.
And does doing the deal
Just
kind of help?
doing the deal helps.
Well, Steve, since it really helps, let's hear those magic words.
Philadelphia, just do the deal.
And ladies and gentlemen, be here between now and the close of business Saturday here at Philly Chevy Giant. Trade amnesty is the difference between you getting down the road and not. It's on. You need some help with your credit? Steve, it's on. If you want to take advantage of employee pricing and 20% off, I mean, think about it. If you heard one, you get excited. Here, you could come here. We've got employee pricing and 20% off a brand new Chevrolet. That's right, a brand new Chevrolet. You pick your vehicle and you pick the deal that works with that vehicle. But the bottom line is you absolutely positively owe it to yourself to be here Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday through the close of business Saturday right here at Philly Chevy Giant. And I can assure you that if you've been thinking about buying an automobile, this is why Christmas has come early. It is a November to remember. You will not find a better deal than you're going to find right now. So if you were kind of saying, you know, I'm going to buy in 2018, once we get past the holidays, I'm going to take advantage of and get a car. I'm going to wait till then. Why would you not come here now? Because, Steve, employee pricing and 20% off, that's a low deal on a brand new Chevrolet. Cheap.
Well, the best part of this bargain is that all the negotiations have been done for you up front. The fear that, I was just thinking about this as you were talking, the thing that I think people fear the most in buying a car is that tomorrow it shows up on some website for $500 or $1,000 less. Well, you're not going to have that because it doesn't get any better than you pay what GM's employees pay. They've been with them for 40 years. And it also don't get no better than taking 20% off when the normal discount across the country on most cars are 5 to 8%.
And that price is so low, that 20% off, that you couldn't possibly sell that vehicle at that price yourself if you wanted to. Am I right?
No, absolutely not.
That's how low it is.
You're looking at let's take a cruise for $20,000. Okay, a sticker of $20,000, you take 20% off. That's $4,000 or $5,000 discount on a $20,000 car. That puts you at $15,000. I'm selling 2-year-old. I'm selling 2016 cruises for $15,500 used with 30,000 miles on them. You're buying a brand new one for that? Come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, you owe it to yourself to get here to Philly Chevy Giant. Employee pricing and 20% off for brand new Chevrolet. You pick your vehicle. You pick the deal that works with that vehicle right here at Philly Chevy Giant. Gordon Chevrolet on the Boulevard in Bustleton in the Great Northeast. Steve, take us home with those magic words.
Just do the deal, Philly.
What does Steve say to that?
Just do the deal.
Say those magic words.
Just do the deal.
Gordon Chevrolet, where Steve says,
Just do the deal.